Well, my goodness. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. My God, you have a high level of dedication, and I love it. Welcome, everybody. We're excited to be back and excited to reconnect with you. I know we just had the last week, we had, if you were able to attend our investor and partner meeting, we share a lot of the things that we're doing, the deals that we're walking, visiting, underwriting, and it's awesome to continue to see you here. So thank you. Happy Mother's Day and for all the mothers in the room and mother figures, because that counts as well. So welcome everybody, and we're gonna get to start answering questions. Let me see. While I'm fixing the chat and bringing Chris to the panelist room, drop in the chat where are you visiting from or where are you dialing in from, and what market you are shopping in. What's your market? Because I'm definitely we're expanding our market. So let me see, Chris. I see you here. Let me make sure that the chat is open as well. But yeah, where are you dialing it in from? What time zone? Because I know some of you guys are Central, Eastern. We have Mountain. Let me see. What else? What else we have? Let me see. All right. And what market are you shopping in? What's your target market? All right.
Co-host.
Yeah, make you a host. Got you. Let's see.
Money's here from Raleigh. Good area. New tech corridor. Good area to pick up stuff.
I see that. And okay. Texas. Yeah, we love Texas. Absolutely love Texas. California. We
There we
love
go.
visiting California.
Chat's open for you now. That's why I had her make me a host. she
Yeah,
she
I got
doesn't
you.
usually catch it right.
I got
Oh,
you.
that's
I
good.
got you. All right. Well, today we're gonna get to answering your questions. No, Fort Myers, is it? I
Fort
should
Myers,
remember.
Florida,
Fort
over
Myers,
by
Florida.
Tampa.
Okay. What is that? You guys are
It's
typing
another good
fast.
market.
Yeah, we like Tampa. That's one of the things one of the places we wanna visit. Wilmore, Kentucky. Oh, by Lexington. Okay. Um,
We've
we
got some
just
stuff
have,
there.
yeah, we have something still there. We exited a couple of smaller properties that we used to own there. Good market. And I did a contract there, not in Lexington, in Louisville. I did a hospital contract there years ago, and a lot of technology, a lot of medical robotic surgeries was still a new thing back then. Oh gosh, that was in 2016, 17. New
Yeah.
York. We love
Back
New
when we
York.
first met. Let's
Yes.
see. All right. So
Stay
yeah,
away
New
from
York.
Tampa.
New York, tough on the rental side, the multifamily side. That's a tough spot to be if you don't know how to
Right.
navigate it. You know, people make money. I'm sure people make money there. People make money in California, in Chicago. I saw that one listed here. Another
Mhm.
area that's tough. The Milwaukee. I've heard that market's decent. We know some people investing up there. Um, but yeah, the those areas that you're not seeing a lot of people, there's an
Oregon.
opportunity. There's always an opportunity, but it means you're going to navigate some extra pieces. You may have to adjust for some additional costs, like trying to get people out of their rental might take you longer,
Yeah, I
might
see
cost you more.
Oregon. Oregon is another you just have to know your market. In Oregon, there's a
Mhm.
lot of laws that are not that beneficial for the owner. Um, Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, I think you talked about that. We are opening up our criteria not only to include other like type of assets. Like we've seen a lot of smaller portfolios, and we are targeting some of those. And I know, sorry, Tony, break it down. But hey, that's why we do these events because we want to connect everybody with other areas. We are looking at different markets, different sizes. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, stay warm out there. Oh my. Do me another favor. If you can chime in while we're waiting. Well, I'm
Uh,
still cleaning up.
We could probably pick up here in a sec.
Yeah, yeah. What are you guys? So if you're like beginners, like I'm just getting to the conversation about real estate. I don't have any doors or units. I don't have any rentals. Maybe you have like a couple of them. How many rentals do you have? Rentals is anything that brings you income. Like for us, if you have a mobile home park, then depending how many pads you're renting, that's the number of units or number of incomes that you have. So put it in the chat if you have any rentals already, how many, if you have any diversification, if you have multifamily or other type of assets. We know some people that have been doing their own triple net type of thing, and they just come and new to the multifamily. So we excuse me, we want to make sure that we speak of um the skills that you bring with that type of assets, and how can you position yourself in a way that you can be a value to a group that is buying in the syndication model. And also, if you can, well, I'm trying to catch up with your comments. Thank you so much for that engagement. We love that. The other thing I would like to learn from you, have you done any deals solo? So have you doing your own investments? Have you invested with other groups passively, so as an LP or a limited partner, or are you already you have already a deal? I want to get a feeling and understand who is in the room and how can we best serve you. Okay, let me my
So
my
while
God.
while some people are filling that in, or as you're
Mhm.
filling that in, can they at the same time, if you have specific questions, start dropping those into the Q&A section, guys? That's
Yeah.
kind of what we're doing here is filling it in so that there's time for somebody to type in a question. I mean, we have a couple of questions in the pipeline anyway, but
Hmm.
we'd like to hear from those that are in the room too. So just if you can drop those into the Q&A section, because as she's asking for things in the chat, it makes it harder to find stuff in the chat. There's
Yeah.
setting I'm missing to see the group chats. No, those things for the chat are coming to us as well, so that we can see them. But we're telling you what all's here. We've got mostly people with 0 doors.
Okay.
We've got somebody with a quad and 3 single families. Congratulations. Somebody with
Nice.
an 82 door that they own on my own and own a property management company which manages for other landlords. Hey,
Nice.
what area are you in? That's a big question there for an 82 door
Hmm.
owner and manager with property management. Let us know what area you're in.
Yeah, if you can put that in the chat, that'll be awesome. We definitely want to connect. Um, and new, okay, still working on deals. Okay. Not deals yet, but working on with a group that wants to be a GP. Okay. All right.
One
There's
single family with a 93 full cycle on an LP position. Would love to know how you guys made out. What area was that?
one single family, went full cycle as an LP on a 93 doors. Okay, awesome. New, absolutely new. No, what? No assist in real estate. Okay, no assets in the real estate yet. Okay. Um, All right. Yeah, we're managing the Q&A and the chat. So the chats that you're putting in are coming to us, and that's why we are like able to respond. That's awesome.
Marcella,
93 too
if you
soon.
can double
Hmm.
check the recording just to make sure it's going. It says here it
Hmm.
looks like it is, but I just want
Yes.
to make sure somebody else
Thank you.
messaged you.
Yeah, we have some of you that are going to be listening to this, so you're definitely not going to be able to see the chat. That's why we're reading it out loud. Let's see, 93 doors in Tucson, Arizona. 93 in Tucson, Arizona. Okay, nice. We have all levels of experience here. would like to underwriting worksheet. We're going to be doing underwriting with a tool, and we have two of our partners here that are going to also join us here in a second. But we wanted to get to some questions, and that's what. Let me see. Let me just try to catch up. I'm trying to read your comments and your questions. I'm an LP in 344 doors, multifamily unit in Florida. Okay, you want to become a GP? Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. Very nice. Okay, well let me get to I love hearing from you. And reconnecting. I love chatting when you like when we send you a text and you're like sending it like, "Hey, I'm traveling. I'm having dinner with family." I know some of you are going to be listening to this recording because you're celebrating family, and we understand that. We just have been doing this for yeah for several years now, and it's a set on the calendar, so we just work around it and plan around it. So just in case you're new to this community, we usually meet the first Saturday of the month. We meet with partners and investors. And what we do in those meetings, we pretty much go through the portfolio. How's the portfolio doing? Like, we update you on the refinancing, anything that we're seeing that could impact the deal, anything that we're dealing with. So, and then we also talk about what are we looking at, what properties we're pursuing, what are we touring, and so that's an opportunity to stay in connected and just to be aware of what are the things that we're looking for. So we give you an update, because sometimes in these calls and these questions, I mean this today's call, want to make sure that we get to your questions. So that's the second week, second Saturday of the month, which is today. We go over Q&A. Sometimes if we attended events, we do share and takeaways from the events. And we pretty much open up to any questions. Today, we're going to be showing you an exciting tool that we've been using to underwrite, and the exciting collaboration that we have going on. So if you're driving and you're not able to catch the screen, because we're going to be showing you the screen today, just make sure that let us know, and we'll send you the recording so that you can review it. And we're super excited about that. As you know, by now, so the third event that we have already like on the calendar for again many years, it's the third Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. We do a virtual meetup, and we sometimes bring in speakers, and sometimes it's us answering questions or sharing about deals that we're going after, and showing you pretty much the behind the scenes, not necessarily a pitch. Okay. So this coming Thursday, we actually have a representative for one of the self-directed IRA custodians, and he's going to be answering questions and showing some case studies. I'll be talking and showing you about with the opportunities that we've been investing with our self-directed IRA. And if you have any questions about that topic, you're welcome to. Anytime we have time to go over of any questions or any deals or anything that is impacting you. Maybe you just saw some quotes or some kind of lending that is out there. We'll be happy to entertain them. And many of you have been sending us questions, and we make the time to bring them here so that if you have a question, probably a lot more people has that question, and we'll bring them here. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, that was a question I had, it's probably because you send it to us and we just pile them all together and bring them here so that we can answer it to all of you, and then record it so that those of you that are not able to make it, you can listen to this to these questions. So let me see. Do you see any questions that we need to jump in, Chris?
I do, and we are going to change it up just a little bit. We're probably going to talk for what 15, 20 minutes. We'll do Q&A, and then we wanted to bring on the underwriting tool that Maricela was talking about that we've been utilizing to get through into far more deals than we've been able to do in a day previously. So the first one that I thought we would hit is it asks about your facing the first real estate deal. What would you do differently now? Describe the challenges that you faced? And the first deal, I think the first deal for everybody, the challenge is getting that broker buy-in, being able to find that deal. And so you end up relying on your network. you end up relying on somebody who has experience to actually find a deal and remember you as being somebody who can give value to the general partnership team. Our first
Mhm.
deals came to us because of people we knew, people we had connected with, and people we had told them what we could do. Now, I always tell people our first deal went up in smoke, and it's literally went up in smoke because we partnered on it. We went down for due diligence, and it was in San Antonio. And 7 days into due diligence, a tenant set fire to the apartment, burned out 8 apartments out of 100. I think it was 136, 146, something like that. And the lender immediately said, "I'm out. I'm not doing this." And so we were able to get our money back in full. Everything was good. Like there wasn't any loss there from our side, but the person couldn't sell at that point in the same manner that they thought they were going to be able to. And so that's, like I said, 7 days under contract, into due diligence, fire, drop the contract, right? First one literally goes up in smoke with a 3 alarm fire. And then it was about 2 months later, we ended up invited into another deal with people that we knew. So, but I'll let you talk to other challenges related to those deals if you want.
To the specific deals, was that a question? Did I miss it, or you
Yeah,
just wanted me to? Oh, let me see.
no, it's the challenges you faced for your first
Ah,
CRE deal, and one is tenant
okay.
and property changes, right? But
Yeah.
those other ones are deals that we actually closed. The other one, and I don't know what
Yeah.
besides the network and finding the deal, what would you say would be a big challenge that we faced in the midst of it all?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Just to clarify, I'm sorry, the virtual meetup next Thursday is at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we usually send out emails and reminders and text. So, but it's at 7 p.m. Central. Okay, so yeah, so first deal. Oh my gosh, you're gonna feel like if you ever run a marathon, for my marathon runners here, you probably feel like you're hitting the wall at every door, every chapter, every activity. Like you just like exhausted at the end. You like not even to the end. You just feel like defeated. There's a lot of new stuff. There's a lot of conversations that you have to have with your investors if you're raising capital, which you should be raising capital in any deal that you go and be a partner on because you're gonna get more equity shares and so it's about having like you when you sit at the we call it the driver's side or as a GP, there's a lot of stuff that you're not gonna know, and that is why it's super important to have a person or a team or a sponsor in the deal that knows what to expect. Otherwise, your whole team is going to be so reactive to the events instead of being proactive and planning and organizing. You're gonna find yourself just like very reactive. Imagine well, imagine going to the beach and have come from a like business conference, and all of a sudden somebody said, "Let's go to the beach," and they're all ready, and you're like, "Well, hold on, I don't have the clothes, I don't have the hat, I don't have what I need," and you're gonna find yourself like not being able to enjoy the trip because you're so occupied on the things that you don't have or the things that you don't understand. How are we gonna get there? At what time? Are we eating there? Are we bringing lunch? There's so much that you are not gonna know. So that's why it's important that you get somebody in the team that is gonna tell you, hey, we're gonna meet at this time. This is where you can get your clothes, blah blah blah. So all of that guidance is super super important. I will say no more. Not only in the first deal, but the first at least 5 deals because every deal is so different. And so just and I encourage all of you to do this, to have this kind of conversations because many times when we are learning in the first phase of the learning curve, and I can show you guys what we call the acquisition wheel. Um, when you're learning, when you're new, you're used to being fed information. Like right now, it's us talking to you, telling you, giving you, answering you. It's just you're just the receiver, and that's what you spend probably the first 3 to 6 months of the time when you first start getting into the real estate. And you're so used to it, and the second that you become a partner or you become a GP, you all of a sudden the table switch. So right now, imagine that we invited you to be your partner, and all of a sudden you're here and people is asking you these questions. So it feels like everything is so overwhelming. So this is the perfect time for all of you to have simply take this information that you're learning and have a conversation with somebody else. The simple questions that I ask you. Hey, are you involved in the real estate? How many doors do you have? Oh, by the way, doors means blah, blah, blah. And then just start like mimicking what you're seeing here. And you'll be surprised that little by little you're going to start working out your pitch. You're going to start working out these conversations because it's hard to have the conversation about real estate when you're the only one that is thinking real estate. So to engage those people that you potentially want to partner with or you want them to invest with you, you need to have these warm up conversations instead of one day you're like, hey, by the way, I need to raise $1 million and I need, what do you think? Like, what do you think of what? They have no idea where you're coming from. They have no idea that you've been doing all this learning. So this is the perfect stage where as you're learning that you should be having conversations with potential investors and taking it back to what was the hardest thing to during those first early acquisitions. It was the having these conversations with potential investors and then understanding really what's going on, because we don't within our portfolio we were managing ourselves. We knew exactly, like, we didn't have to run the expense to anybody. We didn't have to report to anyone. We didn't have to pay out anyone. It was just us. So when you start bringing all these layers of complexity that is new, then everything is new. So you want to master one aspect of the acquisition at the time, and the more time you give yourself to not only do it, but understand it at the same time and partner. So these are three pillars that we always think about when in this case when we're looking to partner or we're looking to maybe another business. And certainly we did this when we first came to the real estate business. What are the things that we need to invest time and money to master? So things that we need to master, things that we need to partner with, that we didn't have to like know it all, but like we needed to know enough so that we can find the right partner, and the things that we needed to delegate. So can we delegate underwriting? No, not at this stage. We need to understand it before we can delegate it. Can we delegate capital raising? No, we need to do it ourselves. That'll be illegal, and we can't pay somebody to raise our capital. So identify the areas that you can master or do you need to master if you don't know them, the things that you need to collaborate or partner with others, and the things that you could delegate. So when you have that approach, you can then stop worrying about, I need to master underwriting. Maybe you need to partner with somebody that has really, really good skills underwriting. And so I think those are, if I was to give you some tools or something to take away today, is finding out what are you good at, or what are you willing to get good at. Maybe you love numbers and you want to get good at it. You're not there yet, but you are willing to spend the money and the time to get better. And then from there, what else that you need to bring or collaborate with others so that you can have a successful acquisition. Um,
One more challenge to anybody working towards their first deal is continuing the belief that you're doing the right thing. It took us 13 months to close our first deal from the time that we made the conscious decision to switch to syndicating. And, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in, it gets a little disheartening, right? You can't find that deal to work. But what we did was we not only were we trying to find the deal at the same time, but we were also networking at the same time. And that's where we told you that's where the first deals came from, was our network, the people that we had spoken with and found a way that we could add value to their team. And so that's the piece that you have to believe that this is the right phase, this is the right area, this is the right thing that you're doing. And you just keep pounding and pounding and pounding it away. The only time that it doesn't work is when you decide to quit. Because it literally took us about 8 months of underwriting 2 to 3 deals a day. Might take 3 to 4 hours at a time to do like serious underwriting on them. And it wasn't until like that eighth month mark really where deals started to make sense. Like we started finding, oh, hey, that one works. Okay, we're within reason. It just, I don't know what it is, but you just have to do the work. You have to get in there and look at the deals. You have to learn how to understand how the financials get evaluated and what can I do for a budget for my capex, all of those pieces. And when you continually are looking and you keep finding something that just doesn't make sense and you're way off on the price, it's an easy route to be disheartened because you're like, it's just nothing's working, so it's not going to work. So I'm just going to whatever. But if you can keep that thing, I have to do my numbers, I have to do my stuff, I have to continue to make the calls, I have to continue to network, whatever that is for you, you got to lean into it. And eventually, at some point, you're working at the same time that you're working on these phone calls and everything, and you're working on the underwriting, you're modifying things, you're changing as you're going through the process and you're developing. And as you develop, you get better at what you're doing, whatever piece of it you're working on at that particular moment. And all of a sudden, one day it just clicks, it pops. A phone call comes in, a broker calls you back, they email you back, whatever it is, take those wins and run with them. Just keep that momentum going. That's the piece that I can say that we never stop pushing into the next deal, into the next thing that we were doing. We continue to do it and we continue to do that. We were very consistent about continuing to meet people and network with people and just kind of did that self-inflection introspection for us to determine what is it that we could bring to them. Like, why are we on this phone call with them? It's not just, hey, what are you doing? What are you looking at? And all that stuff. There was intention behind it. So that's the piece that you have to keep you have to keep pounding the pavement and keep pushing forward and get in front of people in order to make that next step. Because that step, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to do it alone anyway. And oftentimes, the broker's going to come back to you because he's using you to bump up the price on somebody else, as opposed to the fact that he believes in you doing the deal. Until
Yeah.
you bring him some proof that you can do that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, no, you're fine, Chris. I think that this resonates with a lot of you. Like you see the comments that you're putting in here. It is real. The struggle that you're feeling right now, that like you see other people celebrating success or walking deals, and you're like, I'm still stuck in my business or whatever else that's keeping you busy. What I will say, we're gonna be moving forward to do showing you the underwriting tool that we've been using. And the reason why because we've seen changes. We've built our own underwriting tool. We use some of the other mentorship that they're part of. And at the end of the day, like you need to feel comfortable understanding the numbers. And if you're gonna be joining a team that already has a deal, that's the foundation for you to even have the confidence of put your own money or raise capital. Like, but you need to understand that. So there's some things that yes, you're gonna be nervous about it. You're gonna maybe feel frustrated or intimidated by, but the foundation is that if the deal is a good deal, if the deal makes sense, if the deal has the potential, you're gonna it will be a sin for you not to share that with somebody else. And when you feel that conviction, that is what's going to empower you to just continue to go knock at doors and make the cold calls, make the calls to text your friends and family, because you want everybody to be a part of this amazing deal. So that is one thing that when you understand the foundation, then everything else just falls into place. And I know one of our mentors always talks about if you have a good deal, the money will come, the partners will come, the property management will be salivating to manage your deal. And so one thing that we've seen, during these 5 years that we've been inviting investors, because we've been investing by with our own money for 20 years now. It's been in the 5 years that from last years that we actually invited investors. And what we've seen is that if you don't adopt and if you don't bring the new talent, the new skills, the new people into your team and your new ideas, you're gonna stay stagnant. And we don't want to do that. So because of that, we've been exploring other ways to to continue to do faster things. Like we want to move faster, but we want to still keep the confidence. We still want to be able to have that buy-in, or the conviction that we're doing the right thing, that we're chasing the right deals. And but we understand that velocity has a huge factor on this business. We've seen people that we meet a year ago, and then we reconnect. What are you doing? How are you doing? What are you working on? Well, I'm doing better in underwriting. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you spent the last year trying to learn how to underwrite. So when we saw this tool, the underwriting tool we were about to share with you, we were like, oh my God, this is going to change so many things. It's going to save people so many months of headaches and like trying to build your own like we did, and trying to like kind of copy and paste and put your little Frankenstein together, and it's going to like incorporate so many things. And so we're super excited to use it. We've been using it now for some time, and I'm telling you, like it just makes me so like happy to be able to make the decision right there. Am I going to spend more time in this deal? Is this a deal that I can bring to the team, or is this a deal that is a no? So I'm going to show you before we show you the tool that we're talking about. I'm just going to show you this wheel. This is what we call our acquisition wheel, and where most people spends the first, I would say, 3 to 9 months. Sometimes we've seen people even go over. Where we seen them spend the most time is here, and the like. Defining what are they looking for. They're like start getting distracted. Well, I see you buying self storage. Let me go spend 3 months trying to understand self storage. Or I've seen you doing mobile home parks, and so they get distracted. Why? Because they don't have a defined criteria of what are they looking for. So once that you set that, then you go on to find the deals. So, and then contacting the broker, getting the confidence to make the call, and underwriting the deal. So most people, and maybe you can put it in the chat, at what stage in your journey or the real estate are you right now? Are you in step number one, number two? Are you still looking to define what are you looking for? Are you already making phone calls to the brokers? Are you underwriting deals? How fast are you underwriting the deals? Are you looking for? I'm thinking you guys all want to partner with us. We all want to partner with you because that's why we're here, right? This is part of finding your partner. Are you sending offers? And the trick here is like, how can you expedite the time that is going to take us to going from step number one to getting to step number six? Like, what is the time frame that you want to spend here? And again, we've seen people spend over a year for sure, and then they get frustrated and they just decide to exit this business. So we don't want that to happen to you. But I just wanted to show you how after that you get to work. You think that this is what you're doing is working. Wait until you actually get your deal, because that's when a lot of work happens. And then wait until they hand you the keys. That is when the real work happens, okay? So whatever you're doing, if we can make it faster, if we can make it less painful, and we can make it that many of you move faster, and then many of you can partner with us here and get more LOIs and get more deals, that's where we want it to be. So let's go ahead and invite our partners here. Let me see if you guys can raise your hands. But if you are here and want to follow along, let me see. Let me stop talking because I can't talk and click on buttons.
That's fine.
Um,
While you're doing that, I can talk to the one of the question that we had in here right now that can use answering. It actually rolls right into what you were saying
okay.
about LOIs. So how to have a rejected LOI springboard you into the next and further that broker relation. If there's one thing that we've learned throughout the process, it's that dropping the LOI when you say you're going to put in an LOI, you've met all the things that you said you were going to do in the conversations leading up to the LOI. Submitting that LOI finalizes the fact to the broker that you're serious, number one. Number two is I'm actually super excited when I don't get a deal with a broker and we know that we have another LOI in for another one, or we know we're going to do another deal in that area, whatever it might be, because they feel bad for not getting you that deal. They feel bad. You spent time with them, right? So after about 2 or 3 deals that you don't move forward into best and final, or you don't get selected. The better one is if you get selected for best and final, but don't get selected, is because then they're like, man, you even with the extra steps, like you were so close. I know we'll get you a deal. Like they start rooting for you at that point. And so that's the part that helps you to move forward into that next deal. But bigger than that is getting that broker relationship going. I can tell you, obviously, it's best if you can get the deal, right? You get selected at best and final. But if not, making sure that you don't like badmouth the deal, badmouth the broker, or anything like that. Like, don't get pissed off about it. Use it as an opportunity, right? Grant talks about uh, people who are upset, service calls, people who are complaints, things like that. That's an opportunity. It's not a problem. It's an opportunity for you to do something more. It's the opportunity for you to offer something else. And so as far as the LOIs go, your relationship's not over. Just get back with them in a couple of days. Give them a few days. Be like, okay, respect. I understand. I'll give you a call back in a couple of days just to make sure this thing's moving forward. Also to see what else you might have. Right? But I'm going to respect because I know you have things going on. I know you have to do stuff for this deal right now. Why don't we set up another time and have a conversation in a couple of days to make sure it's moving forward? So that's how you can springboard that LOI that's rejected into the next deal. Now, if you come in at 6 million for a $10 million offer, they're not necessarily respecting you. They're not sure how to deal with you yet. That type of stuff. So that's a little bit different. But in the end, if you're in the ballpark, you're like almost ready to be selected for best and final, or you're ready to go into best and final, and you still don't get the deal, it's a great opportunity for you to build on with further stuff with them. So cool.
Awesome. Well, we want to welcome Sylvia and Joe. And we wanted to introduce you. Well, you've been in this community as well, and we're partners. And now we're partnering on this amazing opportunity to showcase the platform that you built yourself with your years of experience we always talk about transferable skills, and you have the skill, the technology, and you saw the need, and you just get your hands into it and determined to solve the problem to go from step number one to hopefully step number six and faster. So if you want to talk about it, show it. You can share your screen, and maybe we can do a couple of underwritings, and I can also do some if you want me to, if you have to disconnect for whatever reason. But welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us, and we're excited to be partnering up with Upplex on this tool, and we're really excited to demo this for everybody. A little bit introductions here. My name is Joe DeMarco. Sylvia, my wife, she's the one that's designed this tool and has created this tool. So she'll be doing a quick introduction of herself in a moment here. Just for me, I'm in the life sciences field, so I work in operations to transfer our instruments from development into production. So I do a lot of project management experience. So I'm actually touching the hardware. I'm moving the hardware. Sylvia's the software side. So, we take the software and put it on our hardware. So that's sort of how we're a team on this and how we've teamed up. So that's a little bit about myself. We have some experience in real estate through single family homes and condos. We're getting into more and more into multifamily, and we're super excited about that. So, Sylvia, want to share a bit about yourself?
Sure. So you want to meet yourself. Everyone, I'm so happy that you're with us today. A little bit about me. I'm a software engineer, and I've been in the industry for over 25 years. Over the past decades, my focus has been on cloud technology and AI, working with some of the largest companies in the world. My role has been helping them automate operations so they can serve their customers faster while saving millions of dollars along the way. When Joe and I started investing in multifamily, we quickly ran into a challenge. Finding good deals takes a lot of time, and we were spending hours analyzing each opportunity, and most of them didn't even pencil out. On top of that, during our mentoring calls, we kept seeing the same thing. People bring in their deals and ask for help evaluating them. So it became clear to us that this wasn't just our problem. It was something that many investors are struggling with. And it was slowing all of us down at the very beginning of the stage. Like Mary Sell said, if we could just do faster, analyzing and finding a deal, we can do so many more deals. So naturally, we started thinking, how can we use technology to solve this problem? If we can do something to help ourselves, and that could help others moving faster as well. So that's why we built this AI deal analyzer. It's an AI powered tool that lets you upload documents like OM, T12, and rent rolls. Within minutes, you'll get the performance metrics like cash on cash returns, IRRs, and equity multiple. And things that used to take us hours now takes us minutes. So we were able to underwrite and look for deals, tens of deals a day rather than just a couple or a handful. So we're really excited to share with you today. I'll hand it over to Joe, who will walk you through a live demo. Joe.
Yes, well said. So it was here. It saves us pain in really what it does, and it gives you a fast turnaround. So it's a fast underwriting filter that will help you instantly identify value and learn, making the complex simple and accessible. And it's not just a tool. It's sort of, how do we use this to expand people's knowledge of the tool, get them to learn it, find deals, bring deals, so we could all do deals together. I mean, that's the whole idea here, is just to build this community. So with that, I'll go in and I'll start to demo this tool for everyone.
Were you pulling it? Oh, you're ready. I'll
Yep,
elaborate in a bit. Go ahead.
yep. Can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see the deal
Yes.
analyzer? So what I was doing today, let's see if I can get this screen. All right. So what I was doing is suppose you're on Crexy and you say, hey, I found a deal that I want to analyze. So I just before this meeting, I went on and I was looking, hey, I'll look at Fort Lauderdale. I found this opportunity here. It's the villas at Lake Air. So click on it. We can say, hey, let's get this OM and let's just see what it tells us. All right. So now that we've got the OM, and that is in my downloads right here. We can go to the deal analyzer, and here's the deal analyzer. Uh, our company is Meridian CRE Intelligence, and when you look at the deal analyzer, the first thing you want to do is you want to set up your financial assumptions, and down here, your financial assumptions. And so, purchase price, down payment, what you think your interest rate is, loan is 5 years. I set the IO for 24 months because that seems to be sort of what we're seeing these days. Amortize over 30 years. I want to put a capex at 50,000 for this one, closing costs at 3%, and say we'll do a reserve of 250 units per year in a hold period of 5 years. So all you have to do then is once you put those assumptions in, we're just going to get the data. We're going to take that OM, we're going to slide it right into here. And here it is. And I'm going to say analyze the deal.
While we're waiting, what I will say is that we've been working with doing a lot of not upgrades, but editions. So this is a live platform that if you guys are using it and you have encounter a problem, you can easily we have like the doc I call Sylvia the doctor because she's the tech doctor. Like, hey, this is a pain in the process. Can you fix it? She's like, I got it. So anyway, go ahead, Joe, take it away.
Yeah, it's like having the expert in-house. It's not like this is an
Hmm.
app we're getting from somebody and we're utilizing it. We are part of it. The expert is here. And we can build it, we can adjust it, we can make it better. And you tell us what you want to see, then we can implement those changes. So here we go. And so this came in at a purchase price of 5,995. So just to back up slightly, I'm going to open this so you could see it. Here's the OM. Okay. So it's 12 units, 40 units. It's in Fort Lauderdale. So that's what we're analyzing right now. So that the asking price is basically 6 million. It's pulled out the NOI, so very, very key metric. It's pulled out the cap rate, instantly calculated by the purchase price divided into the NOI. Current cash flow is 121,000. Cash on cash, very important, 4.4. Really doesn't jump out as something if you wanted to get, if your buy box is 6%, 7%, it just isn't quite there. It has the occupancy of 95%, rent to price is 1%. The debt service that we put in, again, we put 35% down, 6% rate. It's coming in at 233,000. And that's an expense ratio about 43%, which is kind of about within the range you typically see. So jumping down to the equity multiplier and the IRR, equity multiplier, again, we set a 5-year hold on this. It's about 1.25. So not great numbers. So you sit there and say, maybe you move on from this one, or maybe you play with it a little bit. So you can come down to these key assumptions and you can start changing them a bit. So here it has your price, here it has your average rent. And you say, hey, well, suppose you know, maybe I want to up the rent because I did a bunch of renos and say I go to 1450. Now you can jump up and see, oh, I went from a 4% cash on cash. I'm now at 5.5. Okay, maybe that's getting more attractive for you. We put down a capex of 50,000 at closing. You want to make sure that, on a 40 unit property, is that enough? Is that too little? Is that not enough? So you may want to go in and say, hey, this thing may need some work. So maybe I'm more at 150,000. And that brings you down a slight bit, but not too much. You can see we're at 5.55, so 5.53. And then, we have rent growth at 2% here. We could adjust that. We have expense growth at 3%. We could adjust that. And then your exit cap rate, right now we have it at the same cap rate we're going in at, which is 6.5. Or you could change that to say, hey, I'm going to get out at 6. If I can get out at 6, what does that do? And that ends up jumping your equity multiplier a bit as well as your IRR. So you may say, hey, well, this isn't cash flowing. Maybe we need to be at a better cap rate. So maybe we reduce the price. So we knock it down, say we knock it down to 5 million. Okay, this thing starts to look really different at 5 million. You got a cash on cash of 8%, and you're looking at an IRR of 18% with a 2x multiplier. So that may say, hey, well, if they're at 6 million, you go down to 5 million, that's about a 15% reduction. That could be, no, not 15%, it's about 10%. That's quite a bit. No, it is about 15%. It's pretty high. So then would the seller even entertain that? But it's something that you can look at and think about. So this one, right out of the gate on the OM, not the best cash flowing one, but it can tell you a bit of a story. Now you could save this analysis, which is really nice. So you can come in and say, hey, I'm going to save this. And you can give it a name. Say, villas dash 4, Villa 4. So because you did some manipulating on it, and then you could always save those exact settings you want, and they're there. Or you could download it. You could download it as an Excel, and then you could do some maybe other numbers. Maybe you have an Excel sheet you want to do more stuff with, or or you want to look at the numbers in more detail. You could download it to Excel, or you could download it to a PDF. So it gives you a lot of really nice things.
It downloads as an Excel. It's just the numbers that get placed in the cell, though, correct? It's not like formulas and all that stuff that, like,
Correct.
if you manipulate. Yeah, that's what I figured. But I just wanted to point that out. But if you go back later and open up the save version, it comes up in the platform again.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So here's the downloaded Excel version right now. I just did it. It's coming up in obviously I'm using Apple, so it's coming up in numbers, but it's got all those numbers. Now it's pulled out of your OM. It's been analyzed to the calculator with it any changes you want, and now you can take a look at it. So it's pretty nice. It makes things a lot faster, a lot easier, and it's nice to use in that regard because it tells you right away whether you have something that's performing or needs some work. And then you can come down here and look at these different analysis. This bar chart is pretty useful because you can see where you're at, and then you can see it drop at year 3, and you're going, why did it drop at year 3? And you go, oh yeah, we did an IO, an interest only of 24 months, 2 years. So you can play and change your interest only and say, hey, maybe I get a 36 month, right? What does that do for my numbers? And you can see it actually improves your cash on cash and gives you a slightly better return. So you can see how interest only can affect this pretty quickly. All right,
So
any questions on this, or anybody sending any questions we want to try to address or answer?
what while you guys are typing your questions, what I would like to highlight here, because I think there was somebody that asked if this is uh it has the formulas. So I think you show already there's a spreadsheet that what we as like Chris and I get a lot of requests from people that they have deals and they're like, can you take a look at my deal? Like if you guys do this and send us either the screenshots or that shows all your assumptions, all the numbers, then we can tweak it. We can give you feedback faster. I mean, it makes it so much easier for us to just like run through the numbers, knowing that you use the same system that we're using, that we can plug it in. If you send us the documents, we can do the same thing. And all of a sudden we're
Hmm.
both looking at the same thing, and then we can tweak it. Well, what happens if we change the cap rate? Or what happens if we need more capex? Or, like there's so much that we can then you get to actually work the deal. Then you got, and this is something that we're working on. Sylvia, I know I asked you, like, is there any way that we can use this data? And obviously you want to keep it in the same platform, but could you use this data, put it on your whatever AI platform that you're using, and help me come up with the questions that I need to ask the broker. How much confident are you going to feel because you have all of a sudden you can change the numbers real life, and you can, count back. And if the broker is like, well, I am underwriting at a 6%, and you're like, well, well, hold on, my number is at, like, how much comfortable and confident would you feel if you have this tool that you can pretty much, it's like a dial in, to change the channel, adjust a little bit here, add more light here, or whatever it is that you need, but you are able to do this live. And for us, when we coach somebody to look at their deal, this saves so much time, like so much time. Now, if we have a deal that is showing more green than red, we probably are going to take it from here, and we're going to underwrite it with our own long, like, spreadsheets that we have in place, that we are able to see long term, and many other things that we are obviously here is a little more difficult to see. But at least you just got from, I don't know if this deal makes sense, or do I need to spend more time, or what questions do I need to ask, to, hey guys, this is what I have. But this is probably what I already asked the broker. Like your level of being ready and being executing the next step is going to be much, much faster to achieve. Do you guys see any questions here?
So does it assemble and categorize deals into a list? Like, say if you uploaded 30 deals into it at once, would it combine all those OMs into one big portfolio evaluation?
No, it doesn't do that today, but we definitely can add that to our roadmap if that's a feature that people would like to have.
Are
And
you,
if you're
are you, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say 30 deals, you can save them. If
Yeah.
like you can, I don't know how many we can save right now. I know I have several saved, but you can always save them and compare, because I'm not really sure if you're gonna go after those 30 deals. Maybe you just want to underwrite a handful, eliminate the ones that you for sure not going after, and then keep those, like keep selecting them in per se. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry,
I,
Cynthia.
I do like the idea
Sylvia.
of a spreadsheet that you can, like, if you could click all of them and say download lost list, something like that, so that you could go through and it would be able to tell if you did like you're doing here with the same name and different numbers, it knows, okay, use the last number of that particular project, use the last one to put in the numbers, right? The LOI at the time, what the cap rate would have been, expectations, whatever. That would be pretty cool to be able to have this as a data bank that you just one click and you can see all your stuff on a spreadsheet. That would be pretty helpful, I think, to many. And then somebody asked, are you able to upload more than just the OM? Like if you had the OM, the rent roll, and the T12, that's probably the most ideal, right?
Yeah, you can upload multiple files, even files that are irrelevant. You can upload there, and the program can just distinguish what's useful and what's not.
Yeah, it is. I uploaded, I think, like 7 like documents. I found a deal that it has a lot of due diligence, the survey, and the appraisal. All these documents, I just dumped them into into the box, and it actually tells you, hey, I found this document showing this NOI and this other document showing, like, it tells you, identify some discrepancies. Um, so it really is pretty sweet. It's we're excited to see it and to use it and to continue to make it more usable and more user friendly, and just continue to grow. I'm gonna add in the chat, just because we're gonna continue this conversation, I'm sure. But I'm gonna put in the chat, or if you're not part of our WhatsApp community, please join it, because the questions that we don't get to answer here, we will definitely take them and that platform. And we're gonna be doing more demos like this. And if you guys have deals that you want us to underwrite live, we will definitely just send us ahead of that time, or just send the link where we can download it. We want to be productive and analyze as many deals. We want to establish records. Hey, we want to analyze 30 deals, bring them all, because it really is very doable. The next step is when it takes a lot, I say, more involvement. Like, what questions do I need? What does this information mean? What do I need to shop after? Is it the lending that I need to change for this to make sense, for this deal to make sense? Then you start analyzing to a higher level. But just think about it. Like, I mean, I don't think, Joe, I think you were prepared with the downloads, but I don't think it will take more than 10 minutes to analyze a deal and have data where you can then tweak it.
Yeah, and I just, someone mentioned, two documents. I just ran this one just while you were all talking, and I had a T12 and a rent roll, and I threw
Okay.
it in here, and I just analyzed it, and this is Brookmore Hollow. It's a actual Texas property. See, we have the OM on that here. And it's 104 units, and you could see it just spit out the numbers, right? It really
Mhm.
quickly, and this one's got pretty good cash on cash. So it just shows you. While you were talking, I just threw two documents in and ran an analysis on another property. That
I
fast,
love it.
that
Yeah,
easy.
So you
I
want to
love it.
go up a little bit and see the discrepancy between the different
There
files.
you go.
It detects that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you look here between the two files, it tells you what's different. And so, for
Hmm.
example, in the rent roll versus the T12, it had a different occupancy rate, so it took the lower of the two. Uh, and so for the rental income, it took the lower of the two. So it lists the discrepancies you have. And then also here under here, you could also see a bit more of the financial data and a bit of the breakdown of the financial data it's using. Now let's go back to one of the saved analysis real quick, because I think, Sylvia, we also wanted to show the normalization report. Do you want to talk to that? I can pull it up, and we have to generate a new one, it looks like, on this one.
Do you have one that's saved?
I did. It was that one. Oh,
So the normalization report function, normally when there is a T12 and there are other numbers that could be overinflated. So the normalization report actually looks at the T12 and looks at what is not normal. For example, if you have a T12 that generates a lot of damage charge, and that contributes to a huge percentage of your other income, and something like that, the program will flag it as, hey, you need further investigation because this amount is not typical for this type of property. So it will tell you what things to look out for and what things are considered normal in the industry. And at the end, it will tell you, hey, what is the like the normalized NOI that we should be looking at. And surprisingly, a lot of things are, when you run through this, it catches a lot of flags that you should raise to the seller. So that's give you a talking point to what questions to ask for when you talk to the seller. And sometimes when we get these NOIs that's normalized and it matches exactly to what Fannie Mae are underwriting. Like they come back to us when we get a loan, they come back and say, hey, we're going to underwrite this property at this NOI. And when we looked at that NOI and then look at this normalization report and realize, hey, they are actually writing at the way that the bank writes it, underwrites it. So it's a pretty handy tool. In the future, we're going to continue to throw in more enhancement. For example, we can even look into crime reports, flood reports, questions to ask the seller. We can get the list of questions to ask seller. So after you get through this stage, you know what to do in the next stage. So there's a lot of things that's on this roadmap for us to improve and help us to just get that deal a lot faster.
Yeah, and this is great because it tells you where to look, gross potential income, investigate further, you know, and maybe things are off a little bit. So it gives you areas to kind of, hey, let's look a little deeper in these areas just by running this analysis. So well said, Sylvia. This is a very nice tool here. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us and demonstrating this. I've been personally using it. We've been using it, and like I come up with some of those observations and questions. Like before, I will have to wait for Chris's time so that I can run it by him, and then like now we are having like higher, I will say, elevator conversations, elevated, like high complexity, and we are like, okay, what if we can find a lender that can do blah, like it definitely gives you like it puts you ahead of so many steps. And as you guys are looking for deals, if you have this tool, you can just run it through there, and then you can come and ask like better questions, and all of us continue to just grow. And the goal here is that we don't take as much time with the steps 1, 2, 3, or 4, that we can then start making those calls and feel confident and bring more information. And then the next step is like, okay, now we have a deal that makes sense. Now, who are we going to bring in to acquire this property? And that's why we are having these meetings, these conversations with everybody, because we want you to know what are we doing to get more deals, and where can you be a part of these teams, because we are looking to acquire deals and more deals faster. And not just because the tool, but because there's so many good deals. And like I said, we are opening our acquisition criteria. As if you know, last November we acquired 34 units. We just recently, let me see. Sorry, I just got a notification from AI. So we just got we got another deal, like walking distance from that deal this morning. Actually, it's just been in the market for 3 days. So as you can see, velocity in this business is like it's gonna is what's gonna get you ahead. So the things that you're doing here, being in these rooms, having conversations, and then the things that you can do to use the technology that is available right now. We have it. I know. And Sylvia, I'm gonna leave it up to you if you guys want to give the access to anyone that is attending today. I'll leave it up to you. I'm not, but I know we're letting you guys use it so that you can see, you can play with it. But this is going to be a service that we provide together with coaching, and ultimately to go get more deals so that we can all be raising more capital and just get into managing deals. I know many of you are looking to qualify for reps. Like we will have so many deals that we're going to have so many things that we need help with. And that's why we continue to show in these rooms. But yeah, you let us know. I'm not put maybe I put you in the spot, but I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, no problem. So the tool right now is in beta, it's in preview. So we're happy to share the tool with anyone that has interest in it. And all we ask for is feedback. Tell us what you like about the tool, what we like to see. We would love to hear your feedback and incorporate that into the tool so to make it a lot more useful for everybody. So yeah, Marisol, we can connect on how they can request the tool, or we can just share the tool with people on the email list. We can sort that out.
Perfect. Yeah, somebody already asked if it's for sale. I gladly pay for it. So I'm telling you, I sit down and look for deals, and usually I pile them away, and it's a couple days before I get to it. Like now, I'm looking at deal, I immediately underwrite it. How much does it cost? Well, we're gonna give it a complimentary access for those that you're here. And then the goal right now, probably in the next week, is that we can get the most feedback from all of you. So use it, break it if you need to, so that we can see what are things that need more attention. I've been breaking it since I got my hands on it, because I'm like, this is amazing. So that's very kind of you. See, we can get more feedback, but I think that by next week we're probably going to have it live, and that way you guys can. There's a lot more features that we're activating, but for now, as it is, I think this is an amazing tool, so we appreciate it. Let's see.
I'm gonna
Using
throw this out to the group and just say, you know what? Let's regroup again on Thursday, and that's when we'll have the final. Here it is, available for sale, and like that'll be the goal.
Mhm.
I know that's a conversation that we should be able to have, but I just want to share it with the room, a little transparency, right? We'll have a link ready for you and all that stuff, as far as being able to utilize this thing on a regular platform, and be able to accelerate everybody's movement. So we look
Yeah.
forward to that.
Sounds good. Yeah, if we need it, we can host another webinar so we can answer more questions.
Okay.
It's great.
We'll announce the events, but certainly those of you, because somebody is asking how do we get the deal, we're gonna take care of you guys. We promise. We want you to use it. So we're not, it's like when you
Dangle the
go to.
carrot.
Yeah, no, it's not like when you go and find the best tacos place and you want to hold it all by yourself. No, we're not that kind of people. We want everybody to come and join and give us feedback. What do you think? This is our phase where we are trying to make it even better. We anticipate we already have like I would say soft commitments, but soft subscribers that people is needing this. Like we actually to be transparent with all of you guys, we have been collaborating or looking to collaborate with other people that was working on something similar. We were almost so close to partner with another. This was about 2 years ago, and thankfully we didn't, because this is on steroids. Whatever he had going on, this is on steroids. And I'm telling you, every time I break something, I contact Sylvia, and she's like, I got it, and she like immediately, like just this summary that wasn't there the last time I used it. So as you can see, this is only going to get better. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a group of users that is going to, like, if you join at this stage, you get access to any upgrades. I mean, that's where I'm going to place myself, because I want to have access to any new gadgets that we add to this. I was talking about with the way we normally do. We find a deal, if it's our criteria, perfect. Okay, next thing I do or we do is find the crime rate in that area, and then the flood zone. I don't care how beautiful it is, how well managed. Like those are the two things that we just immediately check. So those are the things that I'm like, Sylvia, can we add these two things? So as you can see, there's a lot of, the more that we use it, the more that we identify things that will benefit. Like somebody mentioned here is like pulling data from other, what is it? The Crexy, I think it mentioned. Sorry, my glasses are somewhere.
Other resource,
Lexi
yeah,
and
the scraper
CoStar.
for cracks here, CoStar. So
Yeah.
CoStar is a whole nother platform. That is an
Hmm.
expensive platform to have, and I can't just go in behind the platform and grab it if they didn't have a membership, right? So that's a whole another piece. However, that is a conversation to see. Maybe there's a way that we make that a piece that's available in the future, but it would definitely up the price of what this is going to try to be. We tried to make this an introductory pricing of some sort, and yet we're still having that conversation. But like Maricela was saying, that the first we'll have it set up that the first group of people that come in up to a certain number will have access to a lot of things that as they grow they might become upgrades.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your
Awesome.
help, we're gonna make this even stronger tool, an even more powerful tool for sure.
And that's the because there, let's be real, you can probably again Frankenstein your own way to do your analysis using AI, but it's gonna be so segregated. That's exactly what we did when we started looking for a CRM. If you're not familiar with the CRM, how you got my messages and my emails and how often I contact you is because we have a CRM. It's a tool that we use to stay in contact with all of you. And so when before we found this platform, we were like all over the place. And so let's suppose that we have a deal, and all of a sudden we need to let everybody know that we have a deal. Like those are systems that you have to build in place and have them so that it saves you so much time. Because ideally, we all want to go after more and more and more deals. So if we don't build this foundation that is going to keep us or build or business going, then we're going to be distracted with, okay, let me go type that email for everybody in this chat. So for those of you that receive my message, I probably send about 2,000 messages the same day. So if you don't have the system in place, how do you expect that you're going to have the reach and impact as many people? So that's what we're here. You guys are bringing a tool that is so valuable and is going to save so many hours of like frustration and hard work. And like I said, it's only going to get better. But well, let me see if there's any other questions or you guys want to add anything. I know we
Watching,
are
yeah. I've been
over.
watching while you're
Mhm.
doing your stuff, and yeah, we are a little over on time. But somebody asked about hallucinations via the AI. You never know when that's going to happen. Sylvia messaged that she has built-in pieces, built-in checks to avoid those hallucinations. But what I'm going to stress is it still is you, the user's responsibility to do your own numbers to verify in some manner that you don't just rely on somebody else telling you the answer. And then that's true whether it's your partners going into a deal that you get invited to or using something like this where you can't see
What is
the
hallucination?
formulas.
What's that? Yeah.
It's when a hallucination is where the AI like gives you some obscure answer that has nothing to do with what you were talking about, right? Or the numbers are so off mark that it's like, whoa, this thing's a killer deal, and meanwhile it's like negative instead of being positive number or whatever. So, but we'll get there. We will. What I was saying as far as the hallucinations goes is you still need to be able to check your own numbers, right? There are multiple ways that we can check, and I'll be able to go through those things with you along the way as far as knowing, okay, if I've got the purchase price, here's the NOI, now I know the cap rate. If I add in CapEx, all these other pieces, as they were running through, I'm like, yep, I have a spreadsheet that shows me almost all of this stuff, right? But I had to build this spreadsheet. I had to do more. But what does this do that's different? It gives me that summary from another perspective. It gives me some more eyes that I can go back and look at the T12, look at the rent roll, and I can verify what it's saying and go, huh, I missed that. That's crazy. I thought I
Yeah.
caught it all. So it's another little fact checker for you that keeps you from hurting yourself. Is what I'm going to say, right? So it's just another tool. It is not the full on response or the answer. You still have that final say in everything, and you still are responsible to make sure that everything is in the appropriate order. I guess I'll say.
Okay. Someone
Anything
asked
else?
if you need Anthropic API key or anything like that account, a cloud account to run it. You don't. Everything is handled by the tool itself. All you need to run it is from your browser.
Yeah, you seriously, you
Cool.
don't need, and I've been spending a lot of time on, the AI components to bring it into the real estate again. Because we're self-managing the 37 units, I mean, sorry, the 34 units, which we were before, managing our own portfolio manually. Like this is what we were doing manually in 2016, 2017, and so forth. And now I created in our CRM, I created a property management software, and that's how we're managing the 34 units. We collect, we communicate, we send invoices. We have an AI-driven agent that handles our tenants' calls because we're not available 24/7, but the agent is. So that we build that. So I've been building agents to handle calls. I have one now that can call out. So it was normally the calling in, and now I can call out like, "Hey, I see that you submitted a rent request or a maintenance request," and we have like the level of involvement that you need to like that you can have when you're using the AI is crazy. So I'll be happy to share some. I think somebody said that you have like an 80 something unit to share with you what are we doing in our property management software that has increased the satisfaction of of our tenants and collections. I mean, and reminders and everything is set up. And we still have the team that does some of the work, but overall, like it has cut. I can't imagine not like or having that. If I was to have these tools and this technology that we have today, I probably would keep my or what's say my or 34 unit that 35 units that we had that we're so tired of like sending reminders. Everybody was texting me on my personal number. And now like seriously my AI is having this conversation with the tenant and it's so kind and it's in Spanish. Like I don't even have to wait for Chris. Hey, can you help me answer this? Because I'm going into surgery if I'm at the hospital. Like the agent is handling the conversation and he's so kind, probably kinder than me because I'm frustrated looking for another deal that is not making sense. In this case, it's like the families feel so well served and appreciated. And my AI is like, thank you so much, blessings. And if they say blessings, it also copies. I mean, it's amazing the technology that we're using. It's amazing. So anyways,
And
we're just happy to
it,
be able to share. Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, and so that version, different versions, right, for different pieces, different operations in your business, and that's where things are going, and we're moving things in that direction. Some people feel like they lose that personal touch, but you know what? Many people don't realize how many times they talk to AI or talk to a bot in a day or message with somebody. If you develop it in the right manner, it'll still feel very personal to the person utilizing it. So, and it allows you to feel better about moving forward in business because they are served. And that's what Joe and Sylvia were trying to do here. They were trying to find a way to serve people, to get them into that first deal, to help them find deals. Or if you're invited into a deal, drop the information into it, review your stuff, and now you have your own impression of what the deal looks like. And you can not only go back to brokers, but you can go back to partners and have higher level conversations of things that you didn't notice. I'm assuming I didn't look because we only saw a small piece of that report, but in that report, I would hope that it would also say something about here's what looks to be the impressions or the expectations of the deal, how it would perform, maybe the expectations of where rents would move to, something along those lines, so that you can compare the AI report against what you know to be in the pitch deck or in the OM or whatever along those lines. So again, some of it is there. Some of it is ideas that we present and things like this and in conversations that Sylvia goes, okay, yep, it's there now. So don't be afraid to drop in the little things that you see missing or hope to see. Joe and Sylvia, I believe you are in the chat group that we have. And
Yes.
so if you have questions,
Yeah.
comments regarding this, please feel free, click on the link for the WhatsApp community. Drop your questions in there if you have further stuff that we need to talk about. And like I said, probably Thursday, because this coming Thursday is our third Thursday of the month. We'll maybe come back around, have another short presentation on this, just to in case other people are there, because there usually is a bigger attendance. And we'd love to have you guys back, and you'll get the first inside scoop. And we'll post a link early as far as trying to gain additional access to this long term.
Thank
So
you. And
thank you guys for
please
coming.
feel free to share. I'll drop the invite for the next event here and the chat. I saw that many of you joined. Feel free to share. Like this is, we don't charge anything for this. None of these events are have you have to pay. Last year we did 144 events for free. Every event lasts at least an hour. Like we've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. And so you can get so much. Some like this is a way to for us to continue to stay in proximity with you. That you are intentional and you want to do deals. Let's go. because we get a lot of questions like, hey, can I ask you how do we get started? Or like, have you watched my YouTube channel? Like I spend hours and hours and so please be resourceful. But if you have any question that is specific to your growth, post it in there. If you don't feel comfortable posting your question there, just send it to me. And I normally what I do is I answer it and I post it so everybody benefits from the answer. And so, no judgment. This is a safe zone. I am actually building because we've been doing a lot of teaching for like almost 5 years. And recently, I gather all the teachings that we've done, all the masterminds, all the workshops that we do. If you're not familiar with not products, but our services, we have capital raising, underwriting, and asset management masterminds. We usually do 2 masterminds a year. Right now, we're in the middle of doing an acquisition group coaching. So if you feel like, hey, I'm not ready to be the GP, but I want to see the process and what are the things, what are the steps that we do, that we take to acquire a property, we are in the middle of that. If we have like 4 weeks, it's a 3 month. So we every Monday we meet. So if you're ready for that, let me know because that's where we share a lot of information. But what am I doing is I'm creating my own avatar with my own content. And my idea is that I'm going to put it there so that you guys can literally ask a question. And I probably already answered that question. One of the questions that was presented here over the last, and I'll probably just wrap up after that. But the question was, can I invest with my credit card? And the answer is no. You cannot invest I mean, with a credit card because and if you are asked that, if you're a sponsor and you're asked that, because somebody's going to ask you that. I'm answering in this way because somebody asked us more than somebody. No, you cannot invest with your credit card because these investments are long term. So 5 to 7 years. And if your credit card has a limit or a time frame where you have to repay, or at one point if the deal is not doing good and you have to pay higher interest for your credit card, you don't want to put yourself in that position. Same thing with lines of credit. You don't want to invest. You can have liquidity. Maybe you have some savings. Let's say that you have $50,000 in savings and you hold it, for reserves, but you can get a line of credit or a credit card and feel comfortable that you can have that, and then you can deploy the cash that you have set as a reserves. You can do that, but you don't want to put yourself in a position where your line of credit is recalled or your credit card needs to be paid off for whatever reason, or they add some new regulations, and now all of a sudden you have to pay that interest, in your deal might not be mature to distribute. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. But yeah, let's continue this conversation. If you we'll communicate what time and what day specifically, but we're gonna do another of these demos because I think everybody had a lot of questions. And again, if you guys have deals, you can either send me those documents. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a form so that way I can gather all the documents, and otherwise I'm gonna get bombarded with OMs. So I'll create a form, and if you want to submit your deal for analysis, we can definitely do that. If you want to be doing the driving, maybe we can bring you in the panelist room and let you underwrite it in front of everybody, and that's a good way to just you do it yourself. So it's different when you are clicking and moving buttons, but
I
definitely
thought
we'll
earlier we were talking about Sylvia possibly allowing access to the platform or
true,
access to the thing, right?
true, true.
Not to put her on the spot, but maybe we send that out with the recording or the
Okay,
the the form that you're talking about to
perfect.
provide access. I guess I'll say that way they can input the access opportunity to the platform and
Okay,
and send that back out. If that's
Sounds
okay,
good.
Sylvia.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I figured that
awesome.
that was probably easiest. So there'll be
Sounds good.
with the recording and everything, guys. There'll be a link that comes out if you're interested in the platform. Fill out the form, and then we'll get you access to the platform. Hopefully over the next couple of days.
Thank you guys for
Thank you.
joining us. And for those of you that are still sending comments and questions, let me just scrub the
Very
chat.
good.
You good, you cut them all.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much. And I know we went over the time that we said, but hey, everybody was sending messages and questions, so I think that need was there.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you for taking the time to join us on this weekend, and happy Mother's Day for all of you and mother figures.
So long, guys. Enjoy.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Thank you.